worst fears are that we cause significant, we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause harm.
ChatGPT, the chatbot that uses artificial intelligence. ChatGPT.
Naturally, it is expected that GPT-4 should be better than GPT 3.5. If this is what you think, then you are right, but there is much more to their differences than you can imagine. It would also surprise you that GPT 3.5 is actually better than GPT-4 in some aspects, and this difference could mean a lot to you depending on what you want to achieve. So should you upgrade to GPT-4 or not? That is the question you will have to answer yourself at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Let us start with what matters to the users, which is the user experience. To have an experience with GPT-4, you would have to make a purchase of the monthly subscription, which would cost you $20. That already makes a difference because you can still use GPT 3.5 through the free ChatGPT terminal. The million-dollar question is if this $20 per month GPT-4 is worth it. On your terminal, after subscribing, you are given the option of using GPT 3.5 or GPT-4. And to help you make this decision, OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, gives you some metrics to go by. These metrics are the reasoning, speed, and conciseness of the AI engine. For reasoning, GPT 3.5 is given a score of 3 out of 5, while GPT-4 scores a perfect 5 out of 5 points. What this means is the language and resource depth each model has, GPT-4 has almost double the reasoning capacity of its predecessor. So this gives it an early lead as expected. But when we move to speed, GPT 3.5 scores a perfect 5, while GPT-4 scores a low 2 out of 5. Now we begin to see that this is not a one-horse race. GPT 3.5 is very much in contention with GPT-4. What it lacks in reasoning, it more than makes up for with speed. But sometimes you could be fast but just go nowhere. It is therefore important that we look at how accurate both are when answering queries. Unfortunately, GPT 3.5 scores low when it comes to accuracy. It only scores a 2 here, while GPT-4 scores a 4 in terms of how precise its answers are. From these metrics, GPT-4 is a clear winner, but is it worth it? That is what you're about to find out. Before you can accurately tell how different both are, you must first understand how GPTs work. GPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is an open-source language model that uses machine learning to understand and respond to natural language. What this means is that it is fed an enormous volume of words and trained on how we humans use these words. The parameters are not fixed, meaning the GPT can create a variation of results, which makes its response seem more natural, unlike pre-programmed automated responders. What makes it so unique is its ability to converse in natural human language, which is why users have found ChatGPT so interesting. Different AIs use different engines, but the GPT model is what OpenAI uses. And it all began with GPT-1, which was developed in 2018. GPT-1 was a revelation demonstrating the potential of pre-trained models to understand and generate human-like text. It was a transformer-based model that learned from an extensive amount of text data, making it adept at various natural language tasks. This was followed by GPT-2 in 2019 and then GPT-3 in 2020, which gave very human-like responses and caused experts to fear the implications it could have on society. This leads us up to the point we are now. And the question is, how well have the latest GPT models performed? While older GPTs are no longer in use, the 3.5 model and 4 are currently slugging it out for user preference. But we need to look under the hood to understand how each works before we can reach any conclusion. GPT-4 is the latest language model for OpenAI's natural language chatbot, and it is said to be much better than GPT 3.5. While GPT 3.5 is quite capable of generating human-like text, GPT-4 has even greater ability to understand and develop different dialogues, resulting in more accurate responses that are easy to understand. One of the main differences between GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 is the maximum token limit. Think of the GPT tokens as short sentences for AI, breaking text into manageable pieces, but there's a limit just like characters in a tweet. So a GPT engine's ability to comprehend instructions is limited by the number of tokens it can handle. GPT-4 has a maximum token limit of 32,000, which is equivalent to 25,000 words and a significant increase from GPT 3.5's 4,000 tokens, or 3,125 words. This enhancement enables the model to understand context better and distinguish nuances, resulting in more accurate and coherent responses. Another significant difference between GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 is their memory. GPT-4 has a much longer memory than previous versions. While GPT 3.5's short-term memory is around 8,000 words, GPT-4's short-term memory is closer to 64,000 words. But one thing that significantly differentiates GPT 3.5 and 4 is the number of training parameters each has. The 3.5 model is trained on 175 billion configuration parameter, while GPT-4 is presumed to be as high as 170 trillion parameters, which makes it about 1,000 times larger than the previous version. Parameters are valuable to the performance of these large language models because the more parameters a model has, the more complex and expressive it can be, and the more data it can handle. These parameters are learned from data during the training process, and they encode the knowledge and skills of the model used in solving problems. This is where GPT-4 really outshines GPT 3.5. But this doesn't make it better in every way, as you are about to discover. To help you understand the unique strengths and weaknesses of each, let's talk about the user experience and features offered by both. GPT-4 is packed with features that are lacking in the 3.5 version. One of the key features is its ability to connect to the internet. Because of this feature, GPT-4 has direct access to more data, while GPT 3.5 is limited to the data that was available at the time of its training. GPT-4, on the other hand, can access the internet and keep learning from the new data as it becomes available. This gives GPT-4 a much larger knowledge base to draw from, which can improve its performance on a variety of tasks. GPT-4 can stay up to date on the latest news and events. This can be useful for tasks such as answering questions, generating creative text, and translating languages, unlike GPT 3.5, which is frozen in time. This connectivity also means GPT-4 can use the information it finds to answer questions more accurately. For example, it could be used to answer questions about current events, history, or science. This means users can have a broader user experience with GPT-4, but it does not stop here. Keep in mind that at the time of making this video, access to the internet was disabled. GPT-4 also has a feature called plugins. Those can dramatically increase its ability to perform different tasks. You can give it a URL link, and it can answer questions you have about the content. That is only one of the many plugin features it has. Another amazing feature GPT-4 has that is lacking in the 3.5 model is its ability to work with images. This opens a lot of possible use cases for GPT-4, such as generating captions for images. It can take a step further by describing images in natural language. This can be useful for blind or visually impaired users, or for people who want to quickly understand the content of an image. GPT-4 can also identify objects in images. Imagine stores using this in a variety of ways for product tagging, especially for online stores. And if you want to be creative, GPT-4 can help you with that with its ability to edit images, giving you the power to add text or change the colors. This can be useful for tasks such as creating memes or creating promotional materials. And if you just want to create something special with nothing but your imagination and the power of GPT-4, that is also possible with nothing but text-based instructions, which GPT-4 would use to create your desired images. GPT-4 elevates your creativity by giving you the ability to create more engaging and informative content. For example, it could be used to create blog posts, presentations, or even educational materials with both text and graphics content for you to work with. You will also gain the ability to create personalized content like never before, as a new personalized database is being added to the features of GPT-4, meaning once you set the fundamental framework of what you intend to use the app for. For example, writing emails would be easy and no need to give new queries to GPT-4 before it understands what it needs to do. Clearly, GPT-4 wins this race, but it does not eliminate the usefulness of GPT 3.5. After all, it is free, fast, and also capable in its own way. If you want to learn how you can use AI to your advantage, subscribe to the channel now and watch out for the next video.